Alright, so in front of me I have two devices. One with a more textured finish, the other with a glossy, plain finish. But obviously that's not the only difference between these two phones. There are definitely a lot of differences between the Moto G31 and the Redmi Note 10. But the most noticeable difference is of the price. There's a difference of just rupees 1000. So what does 1000 rupees extra fetch you in the Redmi Note 10? Or should you just save the $1000 and get the Moto G31 instead? Well, that's what this video is all about. This is one from Guiding Tech Reviews or GTR, and you're watching my full comparison of the Redmi Note 10 with the Moto G31. Let's get started. Alright, so let's start off by talking about the design here. Like I said, the Moto G31 has a simple textured plastic back panel with an array of cameras, while the Redmi Note 10 looks more elegant and sleek. I mean, the camera module in itself looks quite unique, but the whole device looks very flush. I mean, we've talked about this in detail on pretty much all of our Redmi Note 10 series reviews, because yeah, the Evo design is pretty damn appealing. On the other hand, what Moto offers is simple, subtle, works, and definitely feels quite ergonomic. Speaking of which, both the devices are quite lightweight, but the Redmi is slightly lighter at just 178 grams. Now, Redmi is also IP53 rated for dust and splash protection, whereas Moto has what the company calls a water repellent design, but there's no IP certification here. Now, both the phones have a plastic back panel, but like I said, the Redmi Note 10 just looks and also feels a bit more premium. As far as day-to-day and in-hand usage goes, they're both equally good, but yeah, I mean, if you were using the Redmi Note 10, it's a device that you would like to flaunt more. Now, in terms of connectivity, both the phones offer 3.5 headphone jack, but the Redmi also offers an IR blaster. Speaking of extra stuff that the Redmi Note 10 offers, the phone comes with a 2+1 slot, whereas the Moto G31 only comes with a hybrid SIM card slot. Now, they're both AMOLED panels, but both of them don't have an in-display scanner. The Redmi Note 10 has it on the side with the power button, while the Moto G31 has it in the back with the Moto logo. Now, personally, I think I like Moto's implementation here because I generally do admire the way my index finger rests here. It just feels a little bit more ergonomic, but then again, that's my own personal use case. I mean, the thumb one is just equally as ergonomic, and I don't think anyone would have any issues. Alright, so now let's talk about the displays. And the highlight here is that both the devices pack in AMOLED panels at 60Hz. I think that's fine because I would any day prefer AMOLED over LCD, and 60Hz is fine. I mean, considering the budget, I can live with that as long as I get better colors and more brightness levels. Now, Redmi offers a Gorilla Glass 3 protection, which isn't modern by any means, but at least it's something considering the fact that Moto hasn't confirmed anything yet. As far as display quality goes, both Redmi and Motorola have very good displays with great outdoor visibility, and both the panels look great for media consumption. Add to that the fact that they both have Wideband L1 certification, so you can use them easily for Netflix or Prime Video or stuff like that. I mean, adding on to the entertainment factor, you also have the speakers. In terms of spec sheets, yes, Redmi has a dual speaker setup while Motorola only has a single speaker setup. But when you start using them, Motorola's single speaker does manage to get quite loud and actually does manage to compete with Redmi Note 10 as well. Now, I won't deny the fact that yes, the audio capability of the Redmi Note 10 is slightly better than the Moto G31, but it's just very slight that most folks won't really able to notice either. I mean, it's a very, very slight difference that only audiophiles will be able to notice. It's not that much of a difference. Alright, so moving along, let's talk about the cameras. Now, the Redmi Note 10 comes with a 48MP primary sensor, an 8MP ultra-wide sensor, and two of those pointless cameras, along with a 13MP selfie shooter. On the other hand, the Moto G31 comes with a 50MP primary sensor, an 8MP ultra-wide sensor, and again those pointless sensors, along with a 13MP selfie shooter. Spec for spec, they are pretty much the same, but how does the camera performance show in real world? Well, in our testing, it shows that Redmi shots seem to be a bit more saturated and colorful, but Motorola has slightly less processed images, which makes Motorola good for post-processing that you would want to do manually. However, Redmi shots are basically something that you can just directly post wherever you want. I mean, we've talked about this before. The Redmi Note 10 has probably one of the best camera setups in its price segment, with the way the HDR works, the high detailing as well. And I mean, it's fair enough to say that Motorola does compete well as far as HDR and sharpness goes. But yeah, the colors are something that I would leave to personal preference. One thing that I want to highlight, however, is that Motorola's camera interface here is quite different from what it used to be, and it's pretty much clustered right now. So yeah, it will take some time to get used to it. Alright, so moving along, let's talk about the performance. The Redmi Note 10 comes with the Snapdragon 678 chipset, while the Motorola comes with the MediaTek Helio G85 processor. Now, processor-wise, they're both pretty much the same, but the one big stock difference is that Redmi packs in the UFS 2.2 storage, while Motorola comes with eMCP storage. Now, does that make a massive difference? Well, not really, because day-to-day usage has been pretty much the same for most part, but launching apps is a bit faster on the Redmi Note 10. The same thing goes for multitasking as well. It's pretty good on both the devices, but slightly better on the Redmi Note 10. So far, the story has been that yeah, they're both comparable, but Redmi still has the edge. Well, here comes the software part. MIUI 12.5 versus stock Android 12. Sure, stock plus Motorola's added features. But basically, there's no bloatware, no ads, nothing. And that is a great thing to have. I mean, personally, as much as I love the features that MIUI brings, I genuinely don't like the ads. Sure, you can uninstall all the bloatware, but still, it's a UI that I personally am not a fan of. I would anyway go with stock Android. I mean, it's just far more easy to use, it's just more reliable, it's not in your face, and yeah, it's a more clean UI, which I definitely love. So yeah, as far as software goes, I mean, sure, I know people are fans of MIUI, but as far as my review and my analysis goes, I think I would any day pick stock Android. Lastly, there's the battery. Now, both the phones have a 5000 mAh battery, but the Redmi has faster charging at 33 watts, while Motorola has 20 watts of charging. I mean, that in itself is a grace considering the global variant comes with just a 10 watt charger, so yeah, that's good. But still, Motorola falls a bit behind in comparison to the Redmi Note 10. As far as battery life goes, they both last about the same time, but Redmi wins here because MIUI's optimizations in terms of battery are pretty good. And then again, Redmi also has the edge in terms of faster charging. Alright, so what's the verdict here? Well, let me just first highlight the fact that Motorola is offering a phone that competes for one of the best budget phones with stock Android. I mean, we've seen Motorola play the stock Android card a lot of times, but usually they just use it to justify their exorbitant high prices. Right now, the G31 competes with the Redmi Note 10 and is actually priced 1000 rupees less. Now, obviously, that 1000 rupees gap does give the edge to Redmi Note 10 in terms of, well, the speakers, the camera, the overall design also. So yeah, I mean, sure, there are added benefits to paying that $1000. But for most users, if you don't mind manually editing your photos later on, the G31 is an easy recommendation. Sure, the Redmi Note 10 is still the go-to phone under rupees 50,000. I mean, if you were to randomly come up to me and say, hey Varun, what's the best phone under rupees 50,000? The first phone that would come to my mind would definitely be the Redmi Note 10. With that being said, I mean, if you want to consider the G31, it's not a bad option at all. I mean, you can easily go for it. The performance is almost at par with the Redmi Note 10 in terms of everything. I mean, I'm not just talking about gaming experience or app launching. Even the camera performance is almost at par. Obviously, the colors are a bit of a subjective choice. But yeah, I mean, for most users, if you're looking for a alternative to the Redmi Note 10, this thing offers pretty much the same performance with stock Android and ThinkShield security as well. So yeah, I mean, I forgot about that, but ThinkShield security in itself is a very important thing. I mean, it does protect you at the kernel level. So yeah, and well, that was it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to let us know by giving a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more awesome tech content. Till then, this is Varun from GTR, and I'll see you in the next one.